Oh my god. Have you ever, you ever been in the theater and you resist every possible urge not to jump out of your seat and beat the shit out of the guy behind you, that's sitting behind you and just will not shut the hell up? No matter what you do, all you think about, you're trying to enjoy the film, and all you want to do is just jump out of your seat and beat the shit out of the guy behind you, or in front of you, for just not shutting the fuck up! Ugh! Don't get me wrong, this movie's good. Don't let my anger cloud the idea that I hated this movie. I didn't. I actually really liked it. But god damn it, there were these two assholes behind me. I think they're 14 years old, and they literally would not shut up. And it was I'm so angry I can't even put it in words. The movie was really good, but when they talked, they didn't even use a whispering voice. They just talked normally. And there were 5 of them. I was sitting behind 2. My dad and my sister were sitting behind the other 3, and none of them would shut up. Seriously, I can't be the only one who, we've all had that urge. We've all just wanted to be oh, I'm going to be an asshole, but it's going to be totally justified. Anyway. So, getting off that rant, let's talk about Ant-Man. Ant-Man was awesome. What more can I say? I really like this. It's kind of funny, because this movie had a lot working against it, and I do mean a lot on multiple levels. First off, it's Ant-Man. How the hell are you going to make Ant-Man of all characters good? And I'm not just saying, it's a guy who can shrink and talk to ants. How do you make that cool? It's more along the lines of, we're talking about a character who's synonymous with making a killer robot and beating his wife. That's synonymous with that too if you're a comic book fan. And again, it's not focused on. I know it's not focused on Hank Pym, but this was before we knew which Ant-Man they were going to focus on. And we get Scott Lang in here, and that's all good. But yeah, it's really hard to look at the Ant-Man legacy and go, how do you make the general audience like this? Also, you had Edgar Wright leaving. You had Peyton Reed come on, who was best known for one such movie called Bring It On, and several other not-so-great films. So, you had all this working against it, and a lot of people saying, it's gonna flop, it's just it's Ant-Man. I can honestly tell you, from the bottom of my heart, that Ant-Man is totally worth seeing on film. I don't really, since as of this recording, the film just came out, I really don't want to spoil anything. I might do minor spoilers here and there, but seriously, no, really, you have got to go see this film. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, as we all know, the story is that Scott Lang has been hired by Hank Pym to become the next Ant-Man to steal the suit. And that's what it is. This movie is a very scaled, and a pun intended, scaled down film. Whereas in Avengers Age of Ultron, we had, the pretty much an apocalyptic scale. In here, it's more of a heist film, and they treat it as a heist film in this universe. And it's really cool. Now, Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, it's actually kind of cool because he nails it in here. He is really good as playing the underdog hero, and you really root for Scott throughout this entire film because he's just a guy who's made some really bad choices. Not necessarily bad choices. He's the little guy. He's, again, pun not intended, he's the little guy trying to fight, the big corporations, and he ended up paying for it, and now he can't see his family, and Hank sees a lot in him. And Michael Douglas as Hank Pym, he is amazing in this film. I really hope that somewhere down the line we get more stuff with Hank Pym, in the past, some flashbacks here and there. That's what I really would like to see. I think that would be a lot of fun to see done in this franchise. We also get to see I'm getting tongue-tied again. Damn it. But crap. What was I gonna say? I totally lost my train of thought again. This always happens. So, with this film, with this film, again, you have to understand that this isn't like, there are some great actions in here, or great action scenes in here, but for the most part, it's a heist film, and it's a nice little solo hero film. It's a nice little solo hero film of seeing this kind of, this one hero getting the title passed on to him from the original. It's very much like, it's kind of funny. I actually had a lot of flashbacks to Batman Beyond in this film. It's kind of funny, and admittedly, we all know the story. It's kind of very true to how Scott Lang got the costume in the first place, from getting it from Hank Pym. But I couldn't help but think about Batman Beyond when I was watching this film. I really could not, again, we've got the elderly superhero who's passing it on to a troubled, younger hero who wants to do the right thing, and there's a lot of demons in the older superhero's closet, and the younger hero, the one who's become take on the new title, has now, has his own problems, and now he wants to do the right thing, and he believes he can do the right thing with this suit. And it's really good. Again, you can really make the correlations to Batman Beyond in this film. And the action in here is really great. Just seeing, Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket throw down, they get big, they get small, they get big, they get small, and also the shrinking in here is also really awesome. How they do the whole shrinking and training him to use the ants, that was all pretty cool. Evangeline Lilly was also really good. There weren't really a lot of, there weren't any bad actors in here. There really weren't. Even the one cop who's kind of the stepfather to Cassie Lang in here, is really good. I thought they were going to go the typical movie route of making the asshole step-parent or asshole boyfriend who's trying to move in on the territory. He kind of starts out like that, honestly, but then he kind of pulls it back, and I was like, oh, thank God we weren't going to go the same route with that. And it's actually kind of cool because there's a scene in here with all of them together eating dinner, and it kind of feels like a normal family get-together, because they're shocker. Hollywood shocker, not every step-parent is a maniacal asshole. And I'm glad they conveyed it here. And they're actually families who, they've divorced and, they've kind of moved on with step-parents, and the step-parent and the new family members are now cool with, and this is not ideal, keep that in mind with most families, but there are cases where, the divorced parents get along just fine, and there's someone else in their lives, and it's okay, everyone, it's fractured, but it's, stable. You know what I mean? It's, functional. There you go. And we see that in this film. And even though it's a superhero element, it's really cool. The latest TV spots did spoil that Falcon's in here. I don't want to spoil how that all goes down, but yeah, Falcon and Ant-Man meet, and it's awesome what transpires and what built up to that moment was also just amazing of how they built up the meeting between Ant-Man and Falcon, and how Falcon ties in here. Also, there is a mention of a certain web-slinging hero in here. There is a mention of him. So be on the lookout for that. There's also an awesome Stan Lee cameo. This is ranked at, top 10 Stan Lee Marvel cameos so far. Also, there's a Tales to Astonish joke that just made me go, ah! And then I realized after making the ha in theaters, I realized, God, I'm such a nerd. So, actually, one more thing before I go. The one thing that kind of irked me was the character of Darren Cross. He was just the maniacal, I'm evil for the sake of evil! Die, He-Man! Ant-Man! Yeah, he's kind of following the trope of... Ultron didn't follow this, and a few other villains haven't, but... this Darren Cross guy, the villain who becomes the Yellow Jacket, does follow the route of, I'm evil! But on the other hand, I will say that they give him a better reason of the whole, I'm evil! Route. I do appreciate that he's kind of like the Anakin Skywalker to Hank Pym's Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's the best way I could... He's pretty much like Anakin going Darth Vader, only tinier, and just a little more out of it. not to say Corey Stoll, the actor who plays Darren Cross, is bad. He's given a lot. There are some points where it's like, you're just not given a lot to do, bruh. Also, the start of the film is a little choppy. Like, the first few minutes is just like, okay, we have this, now go! So, yeah, it's a pretty good film. In my opinion, is it better than Age of Ultron? I don't want to compare it, but I think I liked Age of Ultron still a bit more. Not to say Ant-Man was bad, not at all. I actually really, really, really liked Ant-Man in this film. Everyone was pretty great, the action sequences were fantastic, and I really have a feeling that Michael Peña's character, Lewis, and the rest of the crew that Scott Lang hangs around with are more than likely going to be in the future Marvel films. Yeah. Also, there are two after credit scenes. One, of course, right after the initial end credits. That builds up another hero in Marvel lore, and there's a bit of the end credit scene. Yeah, there's two. The end credit scene is something that's just it doesn't really relate to Ant-Man, but it relates to a upcoming Marvel film. If you catch my drift. Anyway, so all in all, again, really great film. Highly recommend Ant-Man. If you're still skeptical, just go check it out. It's really awesome. There's not much else I can say without spoiling the film. Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys later.